did one.
Am I supposed to speak now? I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble here. Well, it's me. Okay. Well, great to see you. If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something, or, whether those aliens are here or not, who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it? I'll take your questions, and as usual, folks, they gave me a list of the people I'm going to call on.
You wore a mask yesterday. President Trump went to a Memorial Day service. He did not wear a mask. It's not just some people making fun of you. He did. He did on Twitter. He retweeted a photo of you wearing it. He's trying to belittle you for wearing a mask, making it seem like it's a sign of weakness. Is it?
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it. You know people have had COVID. I hope I'd be wonderful you didn't. And so the one thing we have to do is we have to unite the Ku Klux Klan. They're ready to be united. And we have to just change the way we talk to one another. Or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're, I really mean it. We should be in a position where you are, why can't the experts say we know that this virus is in fact it's going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved but permanently approved. U.S. COVID infected military, U.S. COVID infected in America. U.S. COVID deaths. 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk. And now we have over 120 million dead from COVID. I mean, 1.2 billion. Billions of, I think it's 2.3 billion. About 740 million billion, a trillion 400 billion worth. Out of a trillion 400 billion, it's hard to even say it, it's so much. More lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years. And in addition to that, and the question is, you got the vaccination? Yeah. Are you okay? I mean, you seem, the only way to spare more pain and more loss, the only way, these millstones no longer mark our national mourning. These milestones, I should say, no longer mark our national mourning. One more question here.
Have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. Look, come on, man. I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. Now, when President Harris and I took what's happening? And what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here. And with I don't know. I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. Let me put it another way. It makes no sense. My grandpa was named Ambrose Finnegan.
Did you poop your diaper?
Yes, I did.
A little or a lot?
A lot. I'm sorry, I'm going to get in trouble. It's the last question I'll take, and I'm really going to be in trouble. And I'm not supposed to be answering all these questions. I'm supposed to leave, but I can't resist your questions. So, Jonathan, Associated Press.
Have you ever had a dream
near and dear to you that you like to be able to...
You could do so.
We're going to get a lot done. Come on, man. We can't rebuild our economy and meet this climate crisis. Our Constitution opens with the words, as trite as it sounds, we the people. Well, it's time to remember that we the people are the government. There's during World War too, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than he called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board. I made very clear to Putin that we're not going to seek escalation in times of war. You're a really dull class. I mean, come on, man. Is the sun getting to you? I would think you'd have an opportunity when I say that about the Navy to clap. But the way China will respond is when we gather the rest of the world that in fact believes in open trade and making sure that we're in a position that the world that we deal with WHO. I would get much more engaged in the world. We can't step back. If in fact, for example, we solve the problem in the United States of America and you don't solve it in other parts of the world, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have travel bans. You're going to not be able to have economic intercourse around the world.
So is that a yes that you are running for re-election?
That's like saying before you got in this program, where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? We're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. And all this stuff about how we're going to have to move against the government. If you want to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons. And by the way, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, we will issue further guidance on what you can and cannot do. You're going to not be able to have economic intercourse around the world. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. Young black entrepreneurs are just as capable of succeeding given the chance as white entrepreneurs are. But they don't have lawyers. They don't have accountants. What happened? Without taking more time, I'm going to get into trouble. I just have one thing to say. Hang on here. And Ron, who am I turning this over to?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. I think it's time for our friends in the press to leave, though. Thank you.
Thank you all.